25 years ago, on the eve of July 4th, 1998, anti-racist activists Lynn Spit Newborn and Daniel Shersty were lured by two young women to the desert on the edge of Las Vegas, where they were ambushed and murdered by neo-Nazi skinheads. These execution-style killings rocked the Las Vegas community and shone a spotlight on the festering white supremacist movement that had been growing in the desert Southwest, a movement that Spit dedicated his life loudly and bravely to fighting against. Spit was a poet, a punk rocker, a community organizer, a force for unity and peace. But to me, Spit was something else. He was simply a friend. I'm PJ Perez. I'm a journalist, a filmmaker, and the director and producer of Murdered on the 4th of July, a new feature-length documentary that will explore the circumstances surrounding the murders of Spit and Dan and the impact that they had on both the city they called home and on the anti-racist movement worldwide. Since the murders of Spit and Dan, Independence Day has become a day of remembrance for myself and countless others who either knew these two young men or are familiar with their story. In recent years, as I've seen fascists come to power across the globe and white supremacist groups rise to prominence, I've realized that this story is more relevant than ever and needs to be shared with as wide of an audience as possible. And that's why I'm here today to ask for your help to get this film made. We've spent the last year plus doing extensive research, collecting police reports, court transcripts, news stories, as well as gathering archival footage and photos. We've conducted about a dozen pre-interviews with family, friends, colleagues, law enforcement, and legal experts, as well as filmed about half a dozen interviews on camera. But we can't continue production on this film without your help. The amount we're trying to raise with this crowdfunding campaign will pay for about a week's worth of filming with a small crew in Las Vegas, where we'll be able to capture critical interviews, important additional B-roll, and essential material that will help kickstart this project and position this documentary for success. Support of this project from the community is essential, whether it's through a contribution fiscally or it's just by spreading the word about this campaign. It's going to take people like you coming together to ensure that we can tell this story to the widest audience possible and give it the breadth and depth of treatment that it deserves. Thank you for your support.